Hello and welcome. Are you overwhelmed on how to teach theory? I don't love theory and I'm confused on how to teach theory effectively. If you can relate to that, just enter a quick yes in the chat box. Because if you've ever been frustrated with where to start when it comes to teaching music theory, just say yes. Enter it right now. I want to say hello to our viewers. Jean is on watching with us. Lisa, Lauren, Armstrong. Hey, Lauren. Because those were the exact words that Lisa, Darlene, Ammirati thought for many years. And then this happened. I'm Glory St. Germain from Ultimate Music Theory. And for the past 10 years, I've been helping teachers, just like Lisa, learn how to teach music theory more effectively, grow their teaching studios, and increase their income, not their teaching time, through the Ultimate Music Theory certification course for teachers. And you're about to hear one amazing success story from Ultimate Music Theory certified teacher, Lisa Darlene Ammirati. Welcome, Miss Lisa.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. This is super exciting. A teacher who gets to talk about herself, that never happens. So I'm
Well, Lisa has been teaching. She's a music teacher. She's been teaching for the past 22 years. She has certifications in the Royal Conservatory of Music, Yamaha Music Education System, and of course, the Ultimate Music Theory certification course for teachers. She runs a very successful music school, Skyline Music in Airdrie, Alberta, teaching piano, keyboard, guitar, bass, drums, music theory, including recitals, exam prep, and coaching. And she's also in a community choir and she loves doing yoga. Namaste. Wow, Lisa, you're one busy lady. You know, hearing your story really reflects your motto at Skyline Music: imagine, create, and inspire others. And you've certainly inspired me. How did you get started with your music lessons? What was your learning experience as a student when it came to music theory?
Ironically, I kind of love my story because it's more of how I became successful from failure. And so my early start into theory was through failure. I couldn't understand it. It was the old system. Yeah. And it was this foreign object to me because I got started in music lessons late in life. So 9 years old, which back then they made it sound like you're too old to start music. Right. So I was doing theory around 10 or 11, and it was just a mess. It was just a mess. And it continued that way into my teaching. And I remember when I became a teacher around 18 years old, the one thing I was most afraid of to teach was theory. And I struggled a lot. And as a result, so did my students. So that lasted a very long time until your course came out. And then now I call myself the ultimate theory nerd. I'm very excited about it.
So when you were beginning, were you ever good at theory?
No. So music and math, so for me, did not work. Math didn't work. Theory didn't work. Problem solving didn't work. But I knew I just loved music and learning. So I knew I was always a student at heart and wanted to be educated. Mm-hmm. But my learning style was very different from most. I needed more work to understand concepts, and I needed more hands-on explanation. And at that time, it was more just learn the book, memorize, and good luck. But I'm not that kind of student, nor am I that kind of teacher. So I knew it was never going to work. But when you're a kid, you just do it to get it over with. But I realized I'd have to teach it.
You're right. And did you ever like teaching theory?
No, because I had no clue what I was doing. I mean, most of my test results, and I'll be honest, were like 62%. Mm-hmm. So if I'm only 62% confident, trying to teach someone 100% was really difficult. And there was no support either.
Yeah. And Lisa, you and I actually have the same story because I didn't like theory when I was a young student either. And I definitely did not feel confident teaching music theory. And I know people go, are you kidding? Like you're the theory guru. But it's true. And I, like you, really struggled with those concepts. Couldn't find anything that was really explaining it in an easy way. And if I didn't get it, how in the world would I teach it? I actually sent my students to other teachers because I didn't feel very confident. And have you ever had a student fail theory?
Oh, before the UMTC course? Absolutely. And I felt like a failure with them. And I remember taking it really hard on myself, and it brings your confidence down, and you think, well, maybe I'm not cut out for this teaching thing. But I always knew deep down that I just needed the right program to help me. And there is no one size fits all, but I think there's one program to cure all things. And then that's where yours came into my life and just tailspin, turned around completely.
We had a lot of fun when Lisa took the Ultimate Music Theory Certification course as a live event. And since then, we have had students from all over the world. I've been doing a lot of webinars and connecting, and we have Ultimate Music Theory certified teachers, Ivy Wong, who's from Hong Kong. We have teachers in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, of course, North America, Canada, and the US. So it is really exciting and a fantastic opportunity to provide the Ultimate Music Theory certification course as an online course training. And what actually made you decide to take the certification course?
As a student, lifelong student, I always wanted to seek out more. And I thought, since I tried the books that you have with my students, it was a golden opportunity to actually study with the creator of the program, because it spoke so close to me. I thought, well, maybe I can dig inside Gloria St. Germain's head and see what her teaching concepts were, and actually take the course. Because what really helps in this situation is you have a face behind the book. So it's not just some composer you'll never meet that you can't talk to. I mean, I'm talking to Gloria. It's like rock star moment right now. And it always is. Whenever she calls, I'm like, woo! So it's nice to actually have that face behind the book. So it makes it more relatable. And I thought it only made sense to take the course because, as teachers, we want to be certified. And when we tell our students, hey, I've done this, I know what I'm doing, I am certified right there. Yes. It makes you believe more in yourself because you actually put in the effort and it shows. And parents really respect the word certification because we all want our kids to be with a teacher who is officially, legit in the world of especially theory.
Yeah, absolutely. And it affects all of us regardless. And of course, you're running a very successful music studio with students taking lessons of, all disciplines. And by the way, if you're interested in learning more, simply type in UMTC in the chat box, and we're going to go ahead and, I better scroll up here so we can see our comments. Hey, it's welcome there. Thank you for sharing with us today. UMTC, and we'll send you all the information. Now, how has teaching music theory changed your students' ability to play their instruments? Because you've got a lot of instrumental students that you're teaching, Lisa.
Yes, absolutely. It has completely opened their mind to understanding the connection between what's on paper versus what's on a piano. So I've even taught some bass guitar students, and I know nothing about bass guitar, but it allows them to start thinking in a more circular fashion. And it's completely changed them because sometimes they'll say, oh, we didn't get to practice piano. And I say, well, don't worry, this week we're doing theory. So you're practicing music. And I just find as soon as they see the notes on the paper and connect it, oh, that's the same as my piano music. There's this little light bulb that goes on. And I've had some students just exclusively study theory straight on, like from level 5 to 8, straight on. And they've thought about, their parents have said, well, they're not going to be playing intense piano. And I said, just give me those 3 grades and you'll see what a phenomenal transition there is. And it's proof because these kids just fly through their grades because they have the tools in how to read music and they have independence on understanding what a score is like. So it's you can't have one without the other, but really I think theory in my heart, which is weird to say, comes first place. It is the musical language that you need to know how to read it and speak it. And then by default, you're just going to learn how to play it. But before it used to be piano first, theory later. And that's completely changed.
Yeah. And you just have said that so eloquently, Lisa, because I feel so strongly about providing, we talk about retention. You're a business owner, you're a studio, and many of the viewers and listeners here today are also music educators, and they're scrambling to A, fill their studio, and then B, keep their students. Like there's nothing worse than having students quit. And I think, there's like 50% of students quit within the first 2 years of learning. And what happens is they start off with their easy books and it's fun and they're basically learning a little by rote. But then what happens when they might learn a familiar piece again, maybe by ear, but then they have a beautiful piece of music they want to learn. and they start to quit lessons or not show up because it's too hard. They can't read, they don't understand the language. And in this day and age, how many of those students also go on and to band, and they're playing another instrument in band? And I can tell you firsthand how many of my piano students all of a sudden landed up playing bass in the school band, because the band teacher would say, okay, any piano players here? Yes.
Yep.
What level are you in? Level 6, level 7, level 8. Great. You're now playing bass. Why? Because you can read, because you understand the language of music, and you're at that level. So, and I think now more than ever, students experiment with playing more than one instrument. And you may find in your own studio, someone might register for piano lessons, and then a month later they might say, can I also take guitar lessons? Because you know, it's just the language that they're really excited to learn.
Oh,
now,
definitely.
What motivated you to, because I mean, you're teaching private and now you're running Skyline Music. So what motivated you to start your musical journey? And you have your beautiful white grand piano behind you, which I love.
And my favorite theory books.
Music theory books, woohoo. So what motivated you to go, you know what? I'm just going to do this.
Oh, well, you know, I have been a creature of decoration. So I always tease that I just wanted summer to decorate, and then it would turn into a music school. But I always knew that I had so many ideas and so many visual cues. Like I have a lot of inspiration. So this is the Sky Room we're in. And I just thought I really want a place where kids can go, and even adults, where they can feel accepted. They could feel loved, they could feel welcomed and inspired to learn. And I had just so many ideas in my mind and needed a place to do that. And with my personality, I just need to be in a big room. That's that's a bonus and not, sort of. And I need to have space. And I knew that if I started my own business, I could have more accessibility to the community, rather than where I'm at, where in my home is fine. But I wanted to reach more people through multiple teachers and multiple disciplines, and, you know, doing group theory classes. I want to get kids out of their houses and away from their phones and come to a place where they may not want to leave every week, somewhere they look forward to going to, because, you know, we're going in the Tokyo room today. And some kind of inspiration. So I just knew I had huge ideas and a lot of decorating skills. I needed somewhere to go, and I found my place in Airdrie, and I'm so thrilled. So, and I have room to do all of this. So it's been amazing.
Wow. That is such an inspiration. And, you know, sometimes I think it's so important to dream and dream big, because one of the things, and I just really honestly want to say congratulations to you, Lisa, because I've seen your growth. I mean, we met many years ago when you were starting to do the certification course, and I remember when you first came in and you went, well, I'm here. I don't know anything. And I'm really like, I don't even know if I'm going to like this, but I'm here. And one of the things that you had is that you had a growth mindset. You were open to learning, you're coachable, you're implementing what you say, and now you're sharing that with others, because you're an inspiration to all of your teachers to go, wow, like, and it's so fun to be there. And you talked about the community. You know, often when I'm teaching Theory Club class, I have to like say, okay, guys, go, like class is over. And they're still talking, because they now have that camaraderie about enjoying each other and sharing musical ideas. And I also noticed they kind of help each other. You know, so they're not doing it to say, oh, I know something you don't know. They're saying it because they genuinely care. And if you think about, I mean, you're in choir, my goodness, you know how important it is to be able to communicate effectively. And it's such a bonus if you can share how to read that music with choir, rather than just say, could you sing it again? I didn't quite get it. So, you know,
it translates everywhere. And what happens is it's kind of like a domino effect. So if, let's say in choir, if my director, who I've raved about, is amazing, if he's got that energy, now I've absorbed it. And now I'm transferring it to people around. So this is like the yoga mentality. It's that whole karma thing. So if my students come in and see me go, oh, I love theory, this is so exciting. And they're going, oh, but it's so hard. And then I tell them a life story. You know, I wasn't good at theory, but I have all the tricks for you. I mean, they'll buy into it, because it just naturally becomes infectious. And I always have these kids that just go, oh my gosh, I just only want to do theory now, which is a new set of problems. But, you know, I think it's because of the bonding time. It gives you a chance to like be together. And a few of these kids don't have that. You know, parents are so busy. They don't have anyone really quite listening to them, because they're so packed with things. And to sit beside the teacher and have someone have some cool conversation while learning, it's such a bonus. And I think everyone leaves in a happier condition. At least I know I do. I come in bouncing and I leave jumping. So it's no different.
Well, before we went live on the interview today, we talked a little bit about what you're implementing into your studio and what plans you've got for the fall. So tell us what's all going on with you.
Well, I am actively going to be part of the Theory Club program because I love theory way too much to keep it just to one student. And I love teaching groups. So as we bring in the Yamaha group system in the Yamaha program for the little guys, I'm going to bring in the UMTC Theory Club for kids, adults of all ages, just to be in one grade and we can feed off of each other and continue pushing the, well, not pushing, but nudging the performances. I want to get my students more active in the community again, do more volunteer, get them performing, and just keep plugging away at that theory and bringing in the social media. Because I'm learning for teachers especially, we don't toot our own horns enough because, you know, we're just happy making other people happy. But I think we need to just have a little web page or Instagram to showcase all of these amazing things, because we're so used to seeing our kids doing practice exams. And I posted something about my girl who got 97%. I mean, I'm used to that. Which is amazing, but you forget and go, oh yeah, that was a lot of work for us both. So you have to find some way to visually document everything. So those days when you have that bit of burnout and go, oh boy, you look back and say, oh right, this is why I love what I do. Remember that girl who could barely even, you know, hold the pencil 10 years ago. Now she's like doing art and composition. So I think it's imperative that we have more social media working. And then I just want to keep growing and expanding and trying to reach as many people as possible through music, because that's what I was born to do, you know, play, chat, and do music. So it's great.
And you have such an infectious personality. I'm sure your students are like super excited when they come in because they always wonder, what's up your sleeve?
Yeah.
You know, I think one of the questions, and you kind of answered it already, but as teachers, what sort of is one tip that you can share, just how students or teachers rather can move their studio business forward?
Well, again, it's all about self-promotion. Your promotion isn't about talking about how great you are. I am so good at theory and my students are this. It's by the work that you've put into your kids. So, you know, get them on those tests, show off those pictures, send text messages to parents every time they've completed a unit test in the UMTC books and say, hey, look, we've got a 90%. Start passing it through your students, because yes, it's about us. We are a business, but you know, our students are our greatest representation of who we are, and they really are the truth behind us. So you just have to get them going with theory. I mean, I'm just going to plug it. I may as well, but that's the best way to show that, because mathematically it gives you a score. Every test mathematically tells you where you're at. I can say I'm the best piano teacher. Well, yes, I've got this certification, but how are my students? What's the proof through them? So you just have to find a program that's progressive, consistent, and like really shows results. There's just no other way around it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. If you'd like to learn more about the UMT certification course, just enter UMTC in the chat box and we'll send you all the details. You know, there's many talented music teachers that actually struggle with the same challenges that you and I both faced, Lisa. And I believe that once you've mastered music theory and you've got access to all these strategies and tricks and tools that you need, and that you can teach it in a really fun and effective way, that things kind of fall into place pretty fast, don't you think?
Yes. Yeah, it does. It's a domino effect. When the teacher's got the education, knows how to use it, recycle it, the students just become part of the process. It's just every teacher, when you first start, you think, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to get good at this?
Yes.
Eventually it just all starts to fall into place and you go, okay, this is becoming natural. But I always caution, as soon as you start feeling great about your teaching and everything's easy, it doesn't feel like work, we have a problem, because now we have to keep challenging ourselves. And I think as teachers, we tend to feel comfortable and we stay in the same spot. But every student you have is going to challenge you in different ways, and you will challenge them. So as soon as you're comfortable, I encourage you, get uncomfortable, take training, do the UMTC course, go back and do the tests that maybe you haven't done. You know, you've seen your students do them, but how are you if you do the advanced level 8 test by yourself? So you need to go back and be your own student again, always.
That was really well said, Lisa. I think that never-ending professional development is something that is really key. One thing that I learned a long time ago, which I really loved, and that was that goal setting is the greatest motivation for achievement. And goal setting with accountability is one step further to success.
Yes.
And also, once you set a goal and you're nearly accomplishing that goal, it's important to set another goal. So I challenge myself as well. You know, I've taken a lot of courses. I completed that one. Good. Now what? But before I'm even done, I've already registered for another one. And of course, you know, my courses are, you know, I'm creating obviously the Ultimate Music Theory Certification course, but I'm studying business. I work with coaches. I actually have 3 coaches that I work with in my business in different areas of development so that I can serve my teachers, my community, you know, as with you. And sometimes it's a challenge to motivate, you know, ourselves, but also to motivate our students because they're so busy, like they have so many activities. And I think it's key that we share with them. This is really important because it's a life skill, and it's important, I think, to be active. So you definitely want to do your sports because it's fun. It's that community, but you also want to be doing music because there's that whole community as well, right? To kind of go through. So, you know, if you're thinking burnout is a real thing and it could just, you know, kill your passion for teaching, it can also kill your income, right?
Yes.
Because you want to keep going. And I think I can't wait to see your success and see your path as you're implementing the UMT club classes into your studio in the fall. Lisa and I've got some big plans. And I think the other thing too is that to share that, as you just said, not only through social media, but you know, when your music teachers, you know, accomplish or achieve their certification course, contact the local paper. They love good news stories, and just speak from the heart and say, listen, come down to my studio, check this out. You know, I'm an Ultimate Music Theory certified teachers. We actually now have UMT club classes, and here's why. And you know, as they go through it, it's a story, and it can fill your studio. You can get your classes filled. People go, oh, I heard about that. You know, Skyline Music is now offering these UMT club classes to create master musicians. Let's check it out. And one of the teachers that shared with me too, she's actually just got registered for the certification course. And she said, I'm going to do triad classes over the summer. So that way, she said, I get to feel, what does it feel like for me to be teaching club classes? And also, it gives my students a chance to see what it's all about. So it's kind of a great idea if teachers are looking for what can I do right now. It might be an idea to try it.
You try it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You just get more educated about what went right and what went wrong. You know, it's the only way to learn is to literally fail. I mean, like I said, I'm an example. I'm not a failure in life. No, I'm successful in life because I learned what it was like to be failing as a student in areas, but also to, you know, stay true and consistent and always know if you love music and you love teaching, it's lifelong. So there was no option out there. And I think it's taking a plunge is difficult for me because, you know, I'm one of those. If I'm comfortable, I'm going to stay that way. But the past couple of years, I've had to literally get out of my own skin and just start new things. And it's frightening. But when you have support and when you have role models like Glory, who's done that and continues to do it and keeps pushing the boundaries, it's just easy to look up to someone. And, you know, as my family always said, find someone who's above you and climb as far as you can to get there and join them, you know, just hang around them. So it's these lives are so important because it kind of gives you inspiration to go, hey, all right, I saw these girls talking. Let's do this. What's so bad about it?
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
What's so bad about it? Well, you are truly an inspiration, Lisa. I just want to thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your story of music theory success, and not only in music theory, but your success in life. You know, you are fun. Your students must love all your creativity. You've built built a business, I mean, I know from, building my own business, what challenges we face. And remember that there is no failure. There's only feedback. There's
Yes.
only lessons to be learned. And when my students do an exam, and well, of course they're doing well because I'm their teacher and I tell them, like, there is no failure. There's only feedback. And if you struggle with a concept, well, then we're going to work through it until you go, oh, that's easy, right? Hit the easy button on that. So I want to say congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And all of your things. I think one more little thing that I want you to share with us, though, is your story about your little lamb.
Oh, so I've always said music is therapy, but now I've also said theory is therapy. So my students are like, oh, what a horrible joke. But I've got my little sheep, my therapy sheep, and he's very soft and squishy. And I always tell the kids, they laugh at me when I say, okay, don't worry, we're going to have a friend join us. We're going to sit there, do theory. And when you're stressed, I just want you to play with it. And they go, oh my gosh, I'm 16. Like, seriously. But then I just say, well, here, try it. Isn't it adorable? And then they start going, oh, I love the sheep. So it's become this thing where they ask specifically, can we do theory today? And you're going to have the little Theo, the sheep, the therapy sheep beside me. And you know what? A source of comfort. Plus, it's teaching these kids, hey, you know what? You can just be a goofball, have fun. And guess what? You're doing theory. Whatever it takes, I am willing to do. So as my Sola and Tito come in the mail, they will, although I'm a little protective of them because they're so cute. This one is like, okay, well, this is the little Looney Store guy. So, we can squish and hug him as much as we want. But it's, it's the little things that kids, when they're 20, 30, will say, my teacher used to have this sheep that I used to like cuddle during theory. And, it's the small details, whatever makes them happy and makes it easy and fun. If you clear that cloud, anyone will want to learn because now you've just made a cool environment through a little sheep.
If I was back being a student, I would totally come and sign up for your student because it makes me want to come over and squish that little thing.
It's so cute.
No, you're right, Lisa. It doesn't matter if you're 16 years old or, if you're 80 years old. There's just something tactile about that. And, we talk about learning styles in the certification course, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. And it's so important to learn and understand that. And when you are engaging in all three modalities, you actually learn faster. So even having that little touch, sometimes it's just like a little stress relief. And so good for you for breaking the ball there.
Because at this time of year, you turn into Santa Claus trying to find tricks to keep everyone excited. What can I do? But instead of panicking, you just be yourself, just learn to have fun, never grow up. That's the only way to always be a kid. Never grow up. I'm just a big version of me in makeup. That's all I tell everybody.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you again so much, Lisa. I really appreciate it. Congratulations on all your success. And I look forward to hearing more about your Ultimate Music Theory Club classes in the fall. And have fun, everybody. Don't forget UMTC, enter it in the chat, and we'll send you all the details about how you can enroll in the Ultimate Music Theory Certification Course Program. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks, Lisa.
All right. Thanks, Lori. Bye-bye.
Bye.